Martha, 72, lives alone in a cozy house in Charleston, South Carolina. Her neighborhood is quiet and shady. Every morning, the early morning sun shines golden on the porch. But after retiring, Martha no longer feels that familiar beauty. Day after day, she feels empty and sad, as if an invisible silence is covering her life. Previously, Martha was a dedicated elementary school teacher for many years. She was used to a busy and meaningful life, waking up every morning with a clear goal and the laughter of children. When she retired, everything slowed down. The house became quiet, her children grew up and moved out, leaving her alone with four walls. Without the chattering of students or the nights spent preparing lesson plans, Martha felt lost in the empty time. In the early days of retirement, Martha allowed herself to rest, but gradually the idleness turned into boredom. In the morning, she often woke up late because she thought there was no rush. Some days, she didn't get out of bed until noon. The first thing she did was turn on the old TV, but it was always filled with negative news or boring programs. Martha sat there for hours, letting time pass by in solitude. This daily routine only made her more lethargic and depressed. In the afternoon, the house became even more heartbreakingly quiet. Martha sat by the window, quietly watching the afternoon sunlight fall on the front yard path. She remembered the vibrant days of her youth, the busy days of work and family. Now, when everything was just a memory, she wondered if her old age would just pass by in a dull manner. The feeling of emptiness rose up and blurred her eyes. Then one morning, she accidentally woke up earlier than usual, just as the dawn was breaking, dyeing the horizon pink. For the first time in months, Martha stepped out onto the porch at dawn. The cool morning air made her heart feel awake. She took a deep breath, feeling the clarity of dawn. Martha suddenly realized that she had forgotten so many beautiful moments every day just because she was immersed in boredom. Standing on the porch, Martha looked at her small garden. The yellow chrysanthemums were stretching in the early morning sunlight. A few drops of night dew still lingered on the leaves, sparkling like tiny crystals. That scene made her heart calm down. Suddenly, Martha smiled, a rare smile after a series of gloomy days. That day, she decided to start changing from the small things around her. She created a new habit for herself every morning. Instead of lying in bed, Martha got up early to welcome the dawn. She made a cup of hot tea and walked out onto the porch. Sitting on a wooden chair, she sipped her tea while listening to the world wake up. The chirping of birds on the branches and the rustling of leaves blended into a gentle melody to welcome the new day. That peaceful moment made Martha feel lighthearted and full of vitality. That was the first little trick she applied. Start the day by enjoying the morning and immersing herself in nature to relax her mind. After a relaxing morning on the porch, Martha felt her spirit lifted. She told herself to do something meaningful for herself during the day. Before, her days often passed aimlessly. Now she wanted to have a little joy to look forward to each day. Martha suddenly remembered that when she was young, she used to love painting and writing in a diary, hobbies that had been forgotten. That very day, she found an old watercolor box and a diary that had faded with time. Martha's heart suddenly fluttered like a child again. Every afternoon, Martha sat by the window with a paintbrush and a piece of paper. She sketched flowers in the garden or wrote in her diary about her feelings during the day. Drawing and writing helped Martha's mind to be flexible and creative again. Each completed painting or finished diary page brought her joy and a sense of accomplishment. This is the second little trick that Martha practices every day, spending time on a creative activity or personal hobby to keep her soul fresh and her mind sharp. Not only that, Martha realized that joy is more complete when shared. Before, because of boredom, she hardly took the initiative to contact anyone. She had a few old friends of the same age, but every time she talked, She complained about her monotonous life, which made the conversation even heavier. Martha was determined to change. Every day, she set a goal to connect with at least one person she loved, even if it was just a short phone call or a simple meeting. Martha started by calling a close friend who she had not been in touch with for a long time. This time, she did not complain anymore but listened and shared sincerely. The two chatted animatedly for an hour, laughing a lot when recalling old memories. After that call, Martha realized that she had been too withdrawn all this time, while her friends also needed her attention. Every afternoon, she walked around the neighborhood, happily greeting her neighbors. Occasionally, Martha brought some homemade cookies to give to the house next door. The words of thanks and smiles in return made her heart strangely warm. This is the third tip she has come up with. Talk or interact with others every day. Nurture the connection, because love will keep our souls young. After a few months of persevering with small changes every day, Martha's life has taken on a new, bright look. From a quiet, sad woman in the corner of the house, she is now more agile and loves life. Every morning, the neighbors see her sweeping the yard, pruning the trees with a smile on her face. When meeting Martha, everyone hears her excitedly talking about a new painting or an interesting story she has just read. Her eyes now sparkle with joy of life. When her children and grandchildren call, they are surprised by her youthful and unusual voice. Looking back on the past, Martha understands that those miraculous changes come from her changed attitude towards life. She realizes that happiness in old age is created from simple things every day. That is the moment of sunrise in the backyard, the laughter when chatting with friends. Age is just a number. What matters is how young you feel at heart. When Martha opened her heart to new things and let go of old burdens, she found joy in life again. Martha's story is proof that it's never too late to change. Many people in their later years may feel lonely and disoriented when they are no longer busy with work. But remember that every day is filled with beautiful things waiting for us to discover. As long as we proactively create joy from small things, like waking up early to watch the sunrise, taking care of a potted plant, or calling an old friend, life will gradually become more colorful and meaningful. If you hear this story and sympathize, start making small changes like Martha did. Happiness doesn't come naturally. It's your attitude and daily habits that will sow the seeds. Ask yourself, what small thing can I do to make today happier? Then boldly do it, no matter what age you are. I hope Martha's story has brought you a sense of lightness and optimism. If you like this video, don't forget to click the follow button to accompany the channel in the next videos. Thank you for listening. I wish you to keep your spirit young and see you in the next video.